Tipping culture in 2024 is absolutely outrageous. Let's talk about it. I'm going to give you my understanding before we get into the clips. Again, nothing wrong with tipping when someone goes above and beyond what's in their job description. But literally tipping someone just because they're doing what they're hired for is absolutely ridiculous. Two, these employers pay their employees the bare minimum and then want the customer to subsidize their low wages with tips. Again, 2024, we're not going for it. In the comments, put not guilty when they turn around that little screen and you press no tip. We are not going to be guilt tripped into tipping. Not guilty in the comments if you agree. Let's get into the clips.
Tipping culture is out of control. This is a list of people I'm not tipping in 2024, and I'm not going to feel guilty about it. I'm not tipping at the drive-thru. I'm not tipping for Froyo. I'm not tipping for Auntie Anne's. Yes, they ask for tips there now. And I'm not tipping on to-go orders. And I know the hostesses have such a huge problem. This is my opinion. And yes, I have been a hostess and a server in a past life. Anyone who sets their own prices, I will absolutely not be tipping you. The whole point of tipping a service professional is that you're paying the business like double or triple what the employee is actually making during that service. So if you're both the business and the servicing employee, why would I pay more on top of that if you're going to obtain the full 100% of what I pay? Doesn't make any sense. If you need a medical qualification or license in order to administer the service to me, I'm not giving you a tip. It goes against the code of ethics to accept tips for these types of procedures. So
Absolutely agree with her 100%. Like I said, it's so bad that literally they're asking for a tip to get your food. You go to a fast food restaurant and they're literally asking you for a tip. It's absolutely insane. Again, let's put in the comment not guilty. We are not going to we're not going to be guilt tripped into tipping when you're just doing your job.
At Starbucks has got to stop. I gladly press no tip. When I do not feel bad about it, you can't even make me feel bad about it, okay? Because I will tip other people. Waitresses, yes. People doing like side business, actually putting in effort. But I'm sorry, Starbucks workers, you do not deserve a tip. And I don't mean to be rude or mean about it. It is what it is, okay? Come at me, tell me I'm wrong, tell me I'm mean, selfish, blah, 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 whatever. I am not tipping you when I just waited like 15 minutes in the drive-thru, and two, you don't need a tip. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're doing your job, the job that you got hired for, and the job that you applied for. I worked at Loblaws, I worked retail in the mall, at stores. I never once thought I should be getting a tip. You know who needs a tip? People who physically work very hard, okay? Construction workers. My husband needs a goddamn tip at his job. But please take that option off the terminal. Thank you very much.
Absolutely facts. Like I said, that option does need to be removed completely from the terminal. Again, why am I tipping you when you're doing exactly what's in your job description? It makes literally no sense.
Broke, I gotta ask. Can we all admit that this tipping shit has gotten out of control? And don't get me wrong, restaurants, I get it. Waitresses, waiters, I know y'all only making about 45 cents an hour. And that's crazy. So I get it. The minimum I tip is about 15%, and I could tip up to 100% of the bill. It just depends on how I'm feeling. The drunker I am, the more I'm finna tip. You understand me? But if I'm placing an order online for some food and you're making me pay online, like there's no option for me to pay at pickup, don't ask me for no damn tip. I ain't even seen the food yet. What? I haven't even seen the food. I don't know what's going on with the food. I could get there and it looked like trash, and I already tipped 20%. You got to be kidding. What? And not to mention you folks that be providing services. I just seen this video. This girl went to go get a massage. They asked her to pay for the massage before she got the massage, and then asked for a tip before she got the massage, and then got mad when she tipped like 10%. What? That's crazy. What be on y'all's mental for real? Why not just increase your, if you want the tip that bad, increase your prices.
Again, like I said, that's another finesse. Tipping before the service is rendered. how am I tipping you and I don't even know what the outcome of this service is going to be? I can have a totally terrible experience and I'm already supposed to tip you? Again, like I said, this tipping culture in America is literally out of control.
Everyone agrees now that tipping is out of control, and this is why. This right here is who to blame: Square. I think it all comes down to the user interface of these Square registers. Just the fact that they give you 3 different options to tip and they're much bigger than the no tip amount. It's a psychological hack to think that like you should tip for this. The fact that pretty much everywhere has these, even places like ice cream shops that you didn't really used to feel like you had to tip at. You could, maybe there was a tip jar, but now it feels just awkward if you don't. And that's why it really is those Square little iPad things.
I agree. Those Square readers are the devil. I think we need legislation passed. I really do. I believe we need legislation passed where that tip screen should be completely banned. Now, I have no problem with the little tip jar, the little glass masonry jars. You throw a little extra change in there, $1, $2, whatever. But these iPad readers, and they turn around, pay with your credit card or whatever to make the signature, and 15, 25, 30. I've even seen 40% sometimes on there, big and bold, and then you got to search for the no tip button. We need legislation passed, completely banning that pop-up from coming.
People are not tipping their dentist properly. Here's the best way to tip your dentist. Here's a really common one, which is to bring treats for the entire office. Although these are not necessary, it's a really sweet gesture and highly appreciated. The next way is how not to tip. Apparently on Reddit, it looks like some dentists are asking for a tip. It says that for the holiday season, the tips would go to the dental hygienist and support staff. Actually, this is against our code of ethics. You do not need to tip when you see a healthcare professional, such as a dentist or a hygienist. And it's your money. You can tip if you want, but personally, I could not accept. I know your heart's in the right place, but here are the 3 best tips that you can give your dentist. 1 is to leave a positive review for them. Remember that dentists get shat on every day and people only leave reviews when they're upset. So positive review goes a long way. Another really good one is just telling your dentist thank you. It really makes my day when people say that. And then the highest compliment of all is referring your friends and family to us. It really means the world to us when that happens, because we know how much these people are so important to you. Just remember that the best ways of showing people that you appreciate them in life actually don't cost any money at all.
An actual ethical dentist. I can't believe that there's actually some dentists out here that are demanding a tip for their services after you already paid thousands of dollars for dental. You know how expensive dental work is? Do you know how expensive it is to go to the dentist, even if you have dental insurance? Because most dental insurance are trash, if we're just being honest. Now you got a tip on top of this? What is this world coming to?
These 3 numbers on another iPad, I am going to jail. Now walk with me. Tipping culture is out of control. If you work at a cash register, respectfully, it's not my responsibility to pay you for existing by a screen. I pressed that no tip button at coffee shops so hard that the screen nearly had more cracks than Bobby and Whitney. I'm sorry that your refrigerator is white, your mattress is on the floor, and your pillows are so flat that you have to fold them in half. I'm not judging, but get that iPad out of my face and give me my drink.
Facts. Like I said, I don't know how we got here, but we like I said, we really need legislation passed banning this whole screen right here needs to be completely banned. Like I said, I've even seen 40% on one of these at a location. It's absolutely insane.
The problem is with tipping culture. I think the problem is Square. Everyone uses these little tap to pay terminals because they're simple, they're well designed, they're seamless, but they take a percentage, obviously, for processing. That's a percentage of the final cost, including tax and tip. Of course, they're going to try to upcharge you in the only way they can with tip, so the transaction is more money, so the percentage that they take is more money. I don't think every single business asking for tip is a big culture shift. I think big tech is just making it easier to.
That's an interesting theory. Think about that. If these squares get a percentage of, the total sale, like I say, I don't know if it's 1, 2, 3%, whatever it is, but if you could get a person each customer to tip an extra $1, $2, $3, and that brings the overall average higher, that would mean probably millions and hundreds of millions. Because think about these Square readers are at like every business. that would probably be tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars probably generated for the company. That's a solid theory.
Reaction time. This edition is grad night. Do servers ever get tired of complaining about the tips that they get? You know you're not entitled to any of the tips. Like, your tip out could be 0. Tipping is customary, it's not required. 20 to 25% plus in a tip means you are doing outstanding job. It does not mean that you're simply taking the customer's order, dropping off their food, and giving them their check. If that's all you're doing for your customers, no, you don't deserve a 20 to 25% plus tip. Sorry. Honestly, I blame COVID, because remember during COVID, we were expecting very little from our servers, but we were tipping out of really just pity, really high amounts. I feel like this is where the entitlement of tips really came from. And I really think that servers should just be thankful that they get a 5% tip or a 10% tip or a 15% tip. Like, that means that the customer said, hey, here's the amount on my bill. I feel like I want to give you additional money to say thank you. Customers' thank yous are met with servers just showing the receipt and complaining that they didn't get exactly 20%. Like, this was a $10 on a $100 bill, and she like rates this like a 4 out of 10.
Again, like I said, a lot of these servers need to take their issues up with their employer. And why is the base rate so low for servers instead of trying to depend upon tips to pay your bills? You never want to be in a profession where you're dependent upon tips to pay your rent or mortgage or car note. It's always going to end bad.
Somebody help me. This is a real legit question. But I think tipping is starting to go a little bit too far. And here's what I mean. I was at the airport, and the little store where you check out, I had bought a few items. And when I was done, it asked that I want a tip. And so I'm trying to figure out, tip you for what? I grabbed the items, and I paid for them. Why am I tipping you again for just doing your job? Like, you didn't provide any extra service. So I'm just confused, because I even seen when people selling stuff now, they asking for a tip. We bought your product. Why are we tipping you to cash us out? I don't know. But if you know, just help me. I don't mind tipping people, but it got to make sense.
It's literally gone too far. She brings up a great point. You ever been in the airport? Now they have these self-serve kiosks, like these convenience stores. So you literally go grab your items, you check out yourself. They will literally ask you on the screen, do you want a tip? What in the world am I tipping for if everything is self-serve? I had to go grab my product, I had to go ring it up, I had to go bag it up, and you want me to tip you? It's absolutely insane. Again, let's drop not guilty in the comments if we're not going for these outrageous tipping culture in 2024. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.